Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Prospects Nation 101. My name is Chris Robbins, and today joining me we have
Braden.
And today we are going to be doing part 2. Unfortunately, I haven't actually posted part 1 yet, so that should be coming before this one. Of my guy, my personal favorite player in the entire class, one of my favorite guys I've ever watched at the college level.
Yeah, I know who this is now.
Devin Bush. So.
Okay, I thought that was going to be the Amani.
No, I just did him.
Well, when you said part 2, I assumed you were doing part 2 because you just filled part like that video.
No, I filled part 1. I think it was just post combine actually.
Yeah, no,
I was just waiting to do my article on for DLP, and I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, no, you did the Amani video recorded like just a few minutes ago, you know. Yep. So I assume you're gonna do part 2 like now. So my bad. Okay.
Well, you guys don't need a corner at 8, do you? Or I mean at 10, do you?
I mean, if we want to keep messing around and not re-signing Chris Harris, maybe, but no, not this year.
I mean, maybe at like 42 or whatever you pick, I guess.
41, or if like we trade down in like the late teens or something, maybe. But no, we won't go corner at 10.
So, yeah, for those of you guys who haven't seen part 1, check that out. That will be up by the time that I actually post part 2. In that breakdown, we watched some of his 2017 tape, as well as what minimal out there was of his special teams ability, because he was a really good special teamer at ULM his freshman year. And today, we're going to be starting to look at his 2018 tape, which was, of course, the most recent season. So, with that being said, you ready to just get right into it, or is there anything you want to say before we start?
This is actually very relevant because we may actually take him.
That's why I invited you on.
Fair, respect, understandable. Cool. I'm good. That's all.
Sweet. So, crap, which one of the big 4 do I want to save? We'll save Ohio State for the last video, because that's not gonna be that great. Honestly, neither is Notre Dame. What?
Yeah, Mike, yeah, Ohio State, that's going to be a tough scene right there.
Well, the sad thing about Ohio State, the Ohio State game, is that we were, like, within a touchdown, I think it was, at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
And then Devin Bush got hurt.
Yeah.
And disaster, nuclear explosion.
Yeah, I remember I was at a chess tournament, and it was like halftime, and I left because it ended.
Got the ball out of half technically too.
Yeah, and then I got home, and you guys were getting killed. I was like, what the hell happened? I was like confused.
So yeah, the reason I was thinking about that is because obviously there were 4 really big games, Nebraska and Rutgers. Who cares? So we're going to do 3 of the bigger ones in this one. Obviously, he did get hurt in Notre Dame, so we may as well start with that since that was week 1. And honestly, not gonna lie, that's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, concern I have with him at this point, is the injury factor. So one thing you can learn about this game and his injury that happened, and you'll see this a lot in this game if you're paying attention to everyone else on the field, is the game conditions, and you can actually see severe thunderstorm warning at the bottom, were absolutely abysmal. Cramps everywhere. It seemed like both teams had at least 25 or 30 guys that got hurt. It was ridiculous. Basically, our whole defensive line got hurt at some point. I think 3 or 4 of our 5 defensive backs got hurt. Shea Patterson missed, I think, 2 series. Tariq Black was out at that point. I think DPJ had to miss. Basically, like almost both teams had their entire team miss like at least a couple of plays with a cramp or a hamstring or some kind of leg injury in this. It was ridiculous. So you guys will probably notice that. Humidity was abysmal. Oh my god, that was a rough scene.
That's why I love living in Colorado. It's when it's warm, it's not humid, which is fantastic.
So, for those of you guys who haven't seen part one or how have somehow not watched any Devin Bush tape yet, he is number 10. It doesn't say that at the top, but and he is
The one with
occasionally.
the
Yeah,
the one with the dreadlocks.
I was about to say occasionally easy to tell because he's the one with the dreadlocks. Because we also have Devin Gill, who's 36, and he also has dreadlocks on.
Mm.
So, yeah, but you guys will be able to tell him pretty easy here. Oh. Oh, do you care if we watch half or full speed?
I could not care less. Whatever is
Okay.
easier for you.
So while we start, especially since this is a quick game, we'll start with half speed.
That's fine.
And the first thing that I'm going to point out on this play is obviously feel free to interject whenever you want.
Yeah.
I just love how he breaks through that line. He stays so disciplined until the motion, and then boom.
That's why I prefer him at 10 at Devin over Devin White is because he's much more disciplined as a player. Which if you're going to be facing Kansas City in that offense twice a year, you're going to need to be. And if he's going to be like a key starter like year one, that's something you kind of need right away. So that's why I prefer Devin Bush over White is because he's more disciplined as a player, in my opinion.
I'm not even going to lie, I hadn't even thought of that. Because we play Nagy twice a year.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because, yeah, facing Mahomes in that motion, I'm worried Devin White would eventually would get faked out a couple of times.
Yeah. So, yeah, here you go. Just a nice up here from Devin to split the double team and help the defensive line. That was actually Kalik that made that play.
Mm-hmm.
Deep dropping zone on second and long. That was a nice play.
How in tarnation was that not intercepted?
I think Miles Boykin or whoever that was, the receiver, broke it up.
Fair enough.
So, one thing that I'm going to point out about this is one thing that's commonly brought up with Devin Bush, and we talked about this in the first video for those of you guys who have seen that, is the strength factor. Personal opinion, hecka overblown. I don't see it. And of course, again, for those of you guys who don't know, who are new to the channel, I am a Michigan and Lions fan. So some of this might be biased, which is kind of why I brought Braden also. But what you're going to see here is Devin's right here over the A-gap. Just comes around in the stunt. And, like, obviously they don't have Quentin Nelson and Michael Glinchey anymore. But they still have a very, very good line at Notre Dame. And you're not going to see him get moved back or, like, even from this spot. He anchors really, really well for relative to what the narrative is of his size.
I mean, he's not like demolishing him, but he's like holding his own. It's like I'm not expecting my linebacker to maul over an offensive guard, but as long as he's holding his own, that's all I'm kind of asked for,
Yep.
That coverage by that corner was a big yikes.
Yeah. That was a good play by Boykin, though, too.
Mm-hmm. I love how he's pointing it out and communicating with the others defenders.
Yep. And that was why, as we talked about in the beginning of the video, how he went down, like especially the Ohio State game, the whole team basically collapsed because he is that guy. Like, he's the one guy who really quarterbacks the defense. And it's something that you don't really see a ton of anymore.
God.
to be honest with you, like, I mean, obviously you have your traditional examples, your Luke Kuechly's, your Ray Lewis's, who kind of take charge of the defense. Nowadays, it almost kind of feels like you have your three levels, and like you have your safety or whatever, like your Minka or Earl Thomas or whoever, who was like the secondary guy, and then you have like your defensive lineman, edge rush guy, like a Khalil Mack or Von Miller, whoever, who's kind of like leading the defensive line guys or whoever. Like you see like the guys like tapping him on the back, shift over, and doing that whole thing. Whereas with Devin last year at Michigan, he kind of was a throwback linebacker in the sense that he is a quarterback of the entire defense, and you'll see him with talk or leading with safeties and leading with linemen and that whole thing. Simply because his responsibilities were so great that he had to know where everything was all the time on the field, and without that guy in the middle, we fell apart because there was no one else who was able to do anything in that effectiveness, or to that effect that he was.
Yeah, and talking in the Broncos, uh, and talking with the Broncos with Vic Fangio, your middle linebacker needs to be the quarterback of the defense. So him having that ability now in college will be great for in the NFL if he gets drafted by us, of course. It obviously depends scheme by scheme.
Yep. And the other thing too is continuing on the Broncos point is last year we saw Chicago take Roquan Smith, and again, part of this might be biased on my part, but I think that they're quite similar in terms of talent level. I think that both guys are four-phase players who can be aggressive against the run and play pass D, both man and zone. They both have similar size, quote, issues, concerns, question marks, whatever term you want to use. And they're both amongst the top 5 or 10 players in their class. Because they both have effective skill sets. They're elite athletes. They're really polished in all 4 or 5 phases of the game. They're able to contribute day one, and that's why I think Devin Bush is going to go like top 10 to say Denver, Detroit, or whoever else needs a linebacker in our range.
Here's something interesting. What if do you think Tampa Bay maybe pulls a trigger, say Oakland takes Devin White?
I wouldn't be surprised. I do think they'd probably take Oliver, but I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised. Or if that were
yeah.
flipped, I wouldn't be surprised if Oakland took Devin Bush, to be honest with you. He seems like a John Gruden kind of player.
I would be very disappointed if that outcome happened. I feel like they're required to take like Greedy Williams or something to keep with the tradition of John Gruden drafting athletes who suck.
Okay, interesting play. So what's going to happen here is you're going to see him be responsible for force. Now, I don't know why he switched with Devin Gill. I don't remember which play this was. But what's going to happen is he's going to switch with Devin Gill. So at this point, it's Gill's responsibility to take over this interior gap, and he's going to have to be responsible for the outside force.
And
But
Gill, like, either didn't know or completely botched it.
he's getting eaten up by this blocker. So Devin Bush, I'm going to say Devin, but typically when I say Devin, it's Devin Bush, and when I say Gill, it's Devin Gill. When Devin Bush goes out here to double up on Chase, Devin Gill gets eaten inside, and 71 just completely moves him. Whoops. Can I check that
No.
after?
Yeah, I don't know what I did.
You sent a picture to me in Skype.
I did not.
Oh, okay. I'll check it after. Anyway,
Okay.
yeah, so what happens here
Good shot.
is Devin Gill gets eaten up by 71, and of course Devin Bush just isn't able to recover quick enough. Easy touchdown. Nice job reading the play.
I mean, when you're so far away from where the main action is, you can only do so much, you know?
Well, what I like here is that he basically forced his hand off. Because what you're gonna see if you rewatch this is the quarterback. Right? So if the quarterback keeps this,
He's getting killed.
probably. But you have Devin in the one inside gap, and then you have, I want to say that's Khalik. I can't see a number, so I'm not sure. But you have this guy here on the force. So basically, he has to stay in this gap. No, it's not Khalik. That is not Metellus either. Is that Uche? Can't remember 12 off the top of my head. Pass rush snap. Nice pocket push. Jeez.
Good hit. Oh, how do you catch? Damn. Oh, that's not a target.
I don't think they called targeting. I think they called the other one.
Hit. Unnecessary roughness?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that, but...
So, this is kind of why I like Rashawn Gary, too. But Michigan's #1 goal, and this is why I like Michigan players for the Lions this year, especially Devin Bush, is Michigan always prioritized run D over pass D. And you're going to see this here with Rashawn Gary, too. Rashawn is going to do a really nice job of staying patient reading this play, and Devin Bush is going to do the same. So
basically forces the handoff, because if the quarterback gets this, again, he's going to probably get killed.
yeah, because Chase does a really nice job of sealing this edge, and you have, I want to say that's Josh Ross over here, and he can cover ground, you have the corner, whatever. But Chase is right there, and he has outside leverage. So your best option is to get this to number 8, the running back, and hope he's somehow able to miraculously get around Rashawn and Devin. Of course, we all know that's not going to happen. But, I mean, just the aggressiveness in the pursuit there, and bam! Just crushes him.
Good hit.
Again with the switch. So, I actually saw someone else breaking down this play the other day. I don't remember who it was. It was on Twitter. And the one thing that you're going to really want to follow here is the running back. So, watch how this play develops here. Boom! Passing play. He's a man with the running back. Michigan runs a lot of man coverage, so you'll hear me say that a lot. And watch how he's just, this is almost a pick play with these two guys here. So Bush has to come around here, like basically toward the bottom right corner of the end logo, and then around to make this play. He avoids the tight end, and he closes that gap so quickly. And a lot of people who don't have are used to faster linebackers don't really necessarily know how big of a deal that is. But based on, like, as a fan of someone who is particularly of linebackers and defense, you don't really see this as much as you might expect. And this is a Deion Jones kind of play. He starts out at the left hash. He's almost all the way to the numbers by the time that he ends up making this catch and tackle. So the side to side ground that he was able to cover, especially through that traffic there, was really, really incredible.
And if that's not a pick play, that's either a pick six or more likely the QB just doesn't go there.
So one thing that intrigues me about this play is kind of a bit more aggressive than you might want to expect, but he still did a really decent enough job of staying patient and staying back and playing a soft pressure. Nice stump by Rashawn too. Great pressure from Chase on the edge. But with Devin here, you probably want to see him a couple of yards back so he has an easier pursuit angle. And contain, because this is, I think, technically contain on his part. But he's still able to close that speed or close that gap, and you see the sideline to sideline quickness. Okay, did you see that?
No. Oh dear.
I don't know how this happens or why it starts or what. I just
The fucking referee is just on the ground.
he's rolling. Stop, drop, and roll.
Bruh.
Okay, anyway. I don't know why that was so funny, but okay, just over the middle. Zone over the middle. Nice
That was
catch.
terrible defense.
No, that was more like a nice catch. Oh, that was great balance. Yes. I've been waiting to see plays like this from Devin. So, for those of you guys, again, who watched part 1 or who have watched a lot of Devin Bush tape, you guys know by now that the one thing that I cannot stand about Devin Bush at all, and I despise this completely, it's my most hated thing about him, is how he reacts to cut blocks. I despise those things so much when watching Devin Bush tape. But here, for a change, they actually try and go low, and he ends up hitting 93 instead. He's able to keep his feet, and he doesn't get in on the play, but he has pursuit angle. Okay, 4-man rush. Nice contain. Okay, great job in his assignment there, Devin. Nice play by Rashawn. So, one thing that's going to be interesting about this play is it's not really like a big negative or a big deal or anything. But I'm just pointing this out for those of you guys who might not necessarily know what's happening on this particular look. This is a read option. And basically, Devin is in man coverage with the running back. So he's naturally going to follow the running back over. And if this is a pass play like a read RPL, he's responsible for taking the running back and coming around. And Rashawn is responsible for back end. Everyone's shifting over to the right. So that was just a really good play by Gary to stay patient in this one. And that's your more natural reaction. Nice play by Ross there. Where was Uche? I haven't seen a lot of Uche or Quiggy Pay in this game yet. Tyree Kittle. Okay, and again you're gonna see he's kind of playing a conservative angle there. I don't think it really would have mattered either way, but boom, nice physical contact there. First punch.
I love how he's tried to strip that. When I teach football, like in my classes, I put an emphasis on if the ball carrier holds it out one-handed, you punch that ball, you go for that football. I make sure to put an emphasis on trying to strip the ball out if possible. So I love that he's trying to strip it there.
Boom, nice.
He just got out for him like nothing.
Love the anchor. Didn't get moved.
Yeah, Chase has got that one,
Or not.
I guess.
No, eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
He's tackled by Kalik. Same thing, he's not getting moved. Receiving goal. Pretty straight. Nice job of avoiding the harder contact. Boom, nice. 4th inches. He's going to attack some gap, I think. Oh, or not. To be fair, that was a pretty decent gap discipline by the defensive line. Pass rush. Nice bend.
Good bend. Got
Great
him.
sack. Had a little help from Chase and, whatever his name is, I can't remember. Screen. Oh, wrong side, though. Dang. He saw running back screen was receiver screen. Contain? Dude,
Huh?
guy just got in his way.
Yeah, it's kind of. I wasn't doing that like at him, you know, because.
Oh, yeah. Same thing there. Okay. Love that.
Yeah, I
And
got chopped.
again, yep, oh, I hate that so much. Boom, nice shed there. Gets
Push
on
him
the
back.
tackle.
There you go.
I don't think it mattered because he got forward progress.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying, don't let him go get through you and get more yards than you already have.
Again, nice shed there.
I love when he's tackling so far. He never gets pushed, like, the runner never falls forward on him. He always pushes them back. It's just the small things that work out really well for him.
He has a really nice center of gravity. Stunt move.
Got through it. Why was the corner that far off on 3rd and 4?
What was the concept? It might have been zone play.
I think he just got burnt.
I don't know. Is that David Long too?
22?
I think that's David Long. He's like our
Yeah.
best cover corner last year. A gap. Oh, someone. Oh, okay. I was about to say someone else didn't get their gap, but he didn't take it. Because Devin right here is supposed to take up this inside. Oh, no, he doubled. So Rashawn was just being a read. Okay, that's fine. I don't know why Kalik was still far out, though. Pass rush. Nice split. Beautiful.
Get him down. There you go.
So, not really like a lot of flashy pass rush moves. You're not going to see like a fancy spin move or anything like that from him. He is a relatively traditional linebacker, but he wins with speed and quickness. He pretty much shot through the hole and split the double team. Deep chopping zone in 3rd and 18. Nice. Missed the tackle somehow.
And they got the first down.
Okay, undercut that. Nice.
Kind of got put in like a. Just kind of got quarterback right there.
Six probably should have been a little bit tighter, knowing that Devin was forced. And it must have been a play shortly thereafter that he got hurt. So, thoughts based on that half?
Yeah, I'm a fan of him. I'm a big fan of him. Like straight up. I mean, I've already watched the tape from previous times, but it's always good to go back and watch it just to confirm that you're seeing the same thing you saw before.
And especially at this stage in the draft process too.
Yeah.
I kind of just like going back and like, oh yeah, that's. And especially for players like Devin Bush or the one I just did, as you mentioned, Emmanuel Warrior, who's my corner one. Like those types of guys.
Or in a case with me, Byron Murphy.
It's kind of cool just to be able to say, oh yeah, that's who I was wanting to take at number 8 or 10 or 12 or 15 or whatever.
Yeah. It's like, I would love Byron Murphy, but at the same time, I don't want to take him because that means we're probably going to move on from Chris Harris after the season, which I don't want to happen. Oh, wasn't this like an ass beating?
Yeah, both years. 2017, they absolutely destroyed us in Happy Valley.
And they ran up the score, right?
Yep, and then we did the same thing to them at home.
Improvise, overcome, adapt,
Oh, by the way, they highlighted the wrong guy.
That's a tough scene.
Which is why I made sure to point out he's not necessarily always the guy in dreads. I guess Devin Bush, number 10. Were you saying something while I was trying to say that?
No.
Okay. Here we go. Oh, by the way, this is full speed, so this should naturally look a little bit faster to you.
Yeah.
But, oh, they highlighted the wrong guy again.
Good.
But what you're going to really want to look for anyway is the speed comparison between Bush and the other guys, and how much ground he covers as well. Nice contain.
Probably should have been picked off.
Nice discipline, man. So, people never believe me when I say this, but Devin Bush lines up at corner and the nickel and at safety and defensive end. Watch where he lines up on the snap.
Yeah.
That's basically where your nickel corner should be. Same thing. Again, it was the running back in the slot, so nothing like he's not covering Wes Welker, but I like that stunt. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Well-designed pass rush there by Don Brown. Oops. So you're just going to see him walk right around the end.
And just
Offensive tackle doesn't even stand a chance, really. Forces a hurry.
Well, I mean, he's blocking the other guy, so.
Nice, Josh. Good defense or safety. Nice strafe here from Devin. Something that I haven't really talked a lot about with him. I don't even think I remember mentioning this in the first video. I might have. But one thing that you're going to see a lot from him that's really, really nice is his ability to strafe from hole to hole. So, watch right here. I'm actually going to slow this down for a play. And what you're going to see here is you're going to see him start out outside the hashes and basically between these two guys. And then he's going to end up in this gap between the edge and the interior guy. And then he's going to strafe through to in between the two interior guys. And then end up in the middle. So he does a really, really nice job of exchanging gaps. Same thing there, and that's where it really pays off, is in play like that. Where you're really just going to see him be able to basically back up 3 or 4 gaps at once. Like, he's not being a gap shooter, he's a gap filler. Which is really, really nice to see. And you can see here, like, well, first off, Rashawn Gary's getting triple teamed. So that kind of helps.
You're pretty decent when you're getting triple teamed.
Yeah. So yeah, he has 3 guys on, which kind of helps Devin Bush a little bit. But he's able to cover this gap outside Michael Dwumfor. He's able to back up Rashawn Gary, as he'll do here. And he's able to take the gap to the right of Rashawn, and even farther over if they, for whatever reason, decide to keep this. Oh, that was a nice gap shoot by Uche. Nice contain. Undercuts the tight end really nicely there and is able to make a play. So, one thing that was really positive about Roquan last year, and this is one thing that Devin Bush doesn't get enough credit for, and why I like him as much as Roquan, is his ability to slip blocks. So, this tight end here, whoever is replacing Mike Gesicki, I don't remember, he's going to try and cut Devin Bush out of this play and force Kalik to make the tackle, but he's able to slip under that and around that block, so when Kalik misses the tackle, he's able to stop him short of the first, I think. If not, at least be the guy that makes the play.
Yep, they had him short.
Where was everybody else? Where was the state? Was Metellus on that? Dude, why did Kalik travel so far over?
You know, that's a bro moment right there.
I just had to. I'm trying to watch like 5 different guys at one time. Like, Kalik Hudson is playing right here in center field. Is he really biting that hard on Chase McSorley fake that Tyreek Hill could not? And first off, why is this guy not coming over? Whatever. Nice center zone there by Devin, taking over the middle of the field. Nice shifting, man. Great switch. Ends up getting caught by the tight end. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is kind of a perfect place to see this view. So he originally starts off in man. That guy, right? And then he switches to the tight end. Okay.
So he put him in a bear hug and then gave up the
Separated.
catch.
Yeah. Nice pressure from Chase. Nice coverage from Josh Metellus. He's having a really good game on this tape. Nice underneath coverage there by Devin.
That was not good coverage by that corner.
Safety. That was Tyree.
Oh, well, that guy was very much open.
Basically, if you want me to completely explain this to you, what they're trying to do is they're trying to bracket this receiver. So you had the corner playing underneath zone, and then the safety Tyree King all over the top playing deep zone.
Oh, I did not see the safety. That's where I
Yeah, 23 is Tyree. He's basically a center field safety. So you have Watson playing short zone, and then you have Tyree King playing center field, and they basically tried to exploit that with the vertical and lift.
Well, I mean, it worked, but the throw was not
trash. Good. Yeah. By the way, Trace McSorley is in the draft next week. So if the Green Bay Packers want a replacement for Aaron Rodgers, I highly encourage you to take him.
He could also be a replacement for Jimmy Graham, a tight end. Because isn't that where teams are having them try and work out?
I don't even remember.
It was something like tight end, defensive back, or receiver.
I think it was DB. Yeah. So again, I've talked about this a few times, but this is one of the better displays of it we've seen so far in this episode. You're going to want to see how Devin attacks this offense. Boom, makes first contact. They're about if you want to be generous, 13. Moves him back all the way to the 10, gets his hand up to disrupt the passing lane, forcing an incompletion. So even though he might not necessarily have the pass rush moves, if he does get stopped by a lineman, on the rare occasion he's not free to shoot a gap, he can collapse pocket, which is nice. It's just a different aspect and dimension of having him pass rush. And there's your typical Devin Bush type of play. And that's the kind of guy that you're going to expect to get when you draft him in the first round next week. Now 6 days away in Eastern Time. Yes. Now under a week for those of you guys in Mountain or Pacific Time.
No. It's still Thursday.
But like less than 24 hours.
Fair enough. Yeah, today just didn't feel like a Thursday, so that kind of made me look, and I was like, oh yeah, the draft is a week away.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I still have to, oh yeah, by the way, for those of you guys, I didn't say this on the Imani video, but the reason I haven't been doing a lot of these lately is I've been working on my big board. I'm trying to get up to 350. I will end up at over 350. I'm through like 200 something. I can get through like 250.
Good lord, you're going sicko mode.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a grind, but... So, I will be sharing that with you guys probably the morning of draft day.
I would like to join that video, sir.
Okay. Cool.
Alright, I called dibs on to join you.
Okay, anyone who wants to in the chat can.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, going back to the Devin Bush tape. So yeah, for those of you guys who've been following the channel and sub or whatever, sorry about that. I've been working on that the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, going back to this play, so the first thing that you're going to want to see from Bush is, first off, respecting the read. Of course, fortunately for him, that's aided by Rashawn. Secondly, is he's forced. Actually, I think he started out interior, so he might have been an interior gap guy. but because of how special his athleticism is, and another thing I'm going to point out when I restart this play in full speed, is you're going to want to see him open hips and change direction and flow out. And that's where I really think that he has the edge over Devin White. It's not necessarily in even reading plays, because I think that White will be able to develop that with experience. It's not even necessarily in the speed. And once he gets straight line, they're basically both the same speed. And it's not even necessarily in closing speed, because I think that both White and Bush have similar bursts in terms of short-term explosiveness and just like first step quickness. But what you're going to be getting with Devin Bush and not with Devin White is the change of direction and the agility and the lateral quickness. And you're going to see him open the hips a little bit cleaner and smoother, and which will allow him to save more efficient, or not save more efficient movement, be more efficient in his movement, clearing up a pursuit angle, allowing him to be more aggressive, allowing him to get to the guy quicker, things of that sort. And you'll see that here. Of course, a nice tackle too, by the way. I would like to point that out. Because I've seen the thing from PFF, like, oh yeah, he's a terrible tackler. He missed like such and such tackles, 125th best tackler. He has tackling technique, whatever. So, also, yes, I forgot about this play. Do you know what I'm going to say about this play before I start?
I'll be honest, I was kind of half paying attention, so.
Okay, so I'm going to play this play in full speed again, and I'll let you see if you can describe this.
Okay. Basically, what happened here is he's had a great basic. Sorry, I'm completely terrible at explaining things, but he had a good off. He had a great get off, and he basically just bursted around the entire line in like a circle, and then just wrapped up McSorley.
Cool, so that was results oriented. There's two phrases I'm looking for you to say that you didn't say. Do you know what they were?
Probably, I just can't think of them.
Okay, the first one I'm going to start out with is backside pursuit.
Damn it, I knew. Yeah, I should have known that.
So one thing that I really like is how he's able to come around here, and he's able to catch up. And that, again, the closing speed, the recovery speed, the backside pursuit angle, all that stuff is really effective. Do you know what the second one is? It's a little bit simpler.
Sorry, I'm fucking stupid apparently.
Okay, motor.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah. You know, that's completely where they get me.
I really, and this is why Devin Bush is a top 5 player for me. I think I have him 6, but close enough in this class. I think Jeff Rising has him number 4 behind the big 3. Is you're really getting someone who has one of the best motors of any prospect, at least in the class. The dude pairs it so well with his athleticism. What makes his athleticism work is the ability to, and the aggressiveness to keep playing through the whistle. And this play is a perfect example of that. He never gives up on the play, ever, and he's able to bring him down. Same thing there. I like how he's able to find his way through traffic. Oh, nice job getting a hit on that ball, Watson. Nice. Oh, that was perfect.
Wait.
Oh, what a hit from Tyree. So, there's a couple of things I really like about this play. But the main one here is how he switches. So what you're going to see first is, oops, not far back enough. Here we go. So he's going to start this play almost in a contain, and you'll be able to tell that in this frame right here. He's kind of watching the QB, thinking that this running back is in pass pro. When the running back leaves out and escapes the pocket in a swing, right there, going after him in pursuit. Now, McSorley starts to scramble here, and he's able to come down and almost, I mean, let's be real, is McSorley going to cover 10 yards of ground before Devin Bush covers 5? No. So Devin Bush is going to be able to cover this ground if he decides to scramble, or be able to cover the receiver if he decides to throw this. And then McSorley just only adds to that by closing the gap between him and the running back, and then switching it, which kind of throws him off balance for a second, but then he recovers, and Tyree lays him out. So it was really about the ability to switch there. Oh, nice. It was really about his ability to switch there and move between the running back and the quarterback. Follow. There you go.
That was a god awful throw. That was horrific.
Well, you can talk about the throw.
It was great coverage.
Yes, it was.
It was great coverage, but I'm just saying.
And what really made this play is what Devin Bush did.
He completely just ended all possible hope of anything getting really anything from this play.
So McSorley, yeah, exactly. McSorley first off makes this mistake when he has a clean pocket of leaving it. I mean, outside maybe Chase shutting the double or triple team, whatever it is. I can't count how many helmets there are. 2, so double team. If he would have split the double team, then he probably could have found a way to avoid Chase. Oh, that's Tommy Stevens. It's not even McSorley. So yeah, Tommy Stevens makes the mistake here of leaving the pocket when it was clean, and then he only has 2 routes on this half of the field: the tight end and the deep receiver. So basically, he's forced to throw to either the tight end or the receiver. And when as soon as Devin Bush matches and mirrors here, the tight end across the middle, he has no option. And
then does that.
Like, I mean, this is why people say that sports teams are rigged.
Like, yeah, it's great coverage, but at the same time, that's such a horrific throw.
And literally looked like he was trying to throw it to the corner.
I know.
Oh, that was nice. Who was that?
19.
Kwity Paye. I knew it was Kwity Paye. Yeah. Him and Uche are going to be the new edge rushers for us this year. What?
I was like, I mean, considering he plays for your team, I kind of hope you know who he is.
Well, the thing about Michigan last year is, especially considering injuries, we rotated. And versatile defense, we run hybrid looks. Not too dissimilar to the Lions. So, like, you'll have, like, your Noah Furbush or Kwity Paye or Josh Uche. Some sites you'll see Michael Dwumfor. Some sites you'll see Brian Monet. Like, the only guys that are pretty consistently on the field are Winovich, Bush, and Gary. And even on this set, Rashawn Gary isn't even on the field. So, yeah, it's kind of difficult to tell what numbers are guys. And I flipped the edge rushers. I flipped Uche and Ross and Dwumfor, or not Dwumfor. Uche and Kwity Paye and Ross all the time. So, back to Devin Bush. This play. I really like the disguise here. It just starts out across over the middle. That was a nice pick. David Long. So, one thing again I talked about earlier in I think it was even the Penn State game, it might have been Notre Dame, was the guys he's covering. And it might not entirely look like it here, but this is actually a man coverage play because they're going to send 23, I can't remember who that is off the top of my head, on the blitz. So Devin Bush is actually on the slot receiver, and Devin Gill, the other linebacker who's going to be replacing Devin Bush, unfortunately, is on the outside receiver. So you actually have, and of course that guy is that Chase? Oh, that's no, Furbush. That's the other edge rusher. So you have an edge rusher on the other slot receiver. So you have 3 linebackers on 3 receivers, and it still results in a pick. Nice job sniffing through traffic there from Bush. Ah, kind of got angled out. There's your typical Devin Bush type play. Just closing that ground.
The closing and speed and motor there was ridiculous.
Same thing here. Unfortunately, Josh Metellus got in his way.
Yeah, I was like, that's not ideal when your own player boxes you out.
Nice sack, Khalik.
These Michigan players need to teach the Nuggets how to box out. Maybe if these guys could teach us how to box out, maybe we wouldn't be down 2-1.
Nice contain. Now you should start to see him flow over. Yep, perfect.
That was actually a good throw.
That was Tommy Stevens. Okay, oh crap. Yeah, I mean to do that.
Yikes.
Well, it's not a big deal. I just had to wait a couple seconds. So, yeah, the one thing that I like is, oh crap. Ah, that's settings.
Man, you are having a tough time here.
Well, it took me a second, but it's not a big deal.
I'm just playing with you. You're good. That's the tight end?
Yep.
Okay, I was about to say, because if that's a slot receiver, that dude is an absolute unit.
I mean, it's technically a tight end, but the point being is he's lined up in the slot.
Yeah, no, I'm just...
Ooh, who left their gap? It was there 4-1. What the? Was that Devin that left his gap? I mean, at this point, I don't really care about 42-0 with 2 minutes to go, but...
I think so.
No, because he's in double A.
Oh.
That was too soon. Still too soon. Oh, no. Oh, crap, too late. I'm going to have to slow this down. I mean, like I said, if it was, it's not really a big deal. So, yeah, he should be going down there to take out the guard. He should be going to take out the tackle. And then Bush should hypothetically be on the center. He should be on the left guard. He should be on the left tackle. And he should be on the edge, and he should be forced. So, yeah, he takes out that guy. He takes out the running back. And then we have 2 guys on the center. Oh, no, we don't. We have 3 guys. So Devin got moved out of the 8 gap by 95. And he guessed the wrong side, I guess? I don't really know. Weird. Oh well. I'm wrong. That was funny. So, thoughts on that game?
That was nice. I mean, did a lot of good things. Really showed off the athleticism and the motor he had in that game.
And yeah, my favorite play from that game was the running back play. I showed that first in the Notre Dame game, where he ended up covering that ground, and you got to see that again with the Penn State game. His range and his ability to flip and open so quickly and smoothly is really second to none. Okay, one more. So, for those of you guys who aren't on Twitter or weren't aware of the whole Michigan State rivalry, this was a very fun game this year. And you probably heard about it if you're a huge Devin Bush follower or whatever. And if your team ends up taking him, for those of you guys who are out there who are coming back to watch this after your team took him, props to your team. You have a great general manager. But for those of you guys who are looking for possible negatives, I guess if you want to call it that, the lead up to this game was quite interesting. And Braden, do you remember this?
Where didn't he like destroy the midfield logo or something?
Sure, yeah. So basically, what happened is Michigan State always does this thing where they like walk arm in arm down the length of the field during warm-ups or whatever, and basically they were late. They always do like a specific time, and supposedly they were late. So Michigan players were already on the field warming up, and Devin Bush didn't leave his spot. So basically, they walked right through Devin Bush and two other players I can't remember right now. And so after they walked through him, they basically clotheslined him, or at least attempted to, or however you want to say it based on his bias. He ended up going behind him and just like using like the cleats and like scraping up the top of the Spartan logo. So for those of you guys who like competitive, aggressive, fiery type of players, then maybe you'll view that as positive. For those of you guys who may view that as a character risk of some kind, I guess, there's a negative for you. If a reason to move them down your board, I guess. Personally, as a Michigan fan, I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. And then, and then the first play he does that. Honestly, this might be a hot take, but it's kind of at the point where Ohio State's beating us so often, so many times in a row now, where Michigan State is almost the bigger rival, in part because they're an in-state rival. So it's kind of like Clemson and Alabama, right? Like Clemson plays Alabama basically every year at this point in the playoff, to the point where they're rivals. But like Clemson's biggest rival is almost South Carolina, just because they're so state.
Yeah, I doubt that.
Well, that's Carson. That's the team Carson hates the most. It's probably gonna be South Carolina. Oh, nice stiff arm from LJ Scott, who was also in this draft, I believe. Or did he go back? He might have gone back. Oh, what a hit,
Ooh.
Josh. Yeah, you can tell this is a chippy game. This was so much fun to watch. Devin Bush there slamming another guy down. Oh, yes. I knew it was going to be somewhere today. For those of y'all who tell me Devin Bush ain't lying up at outside corner last year, proof, people. Watch the film. It's his own look, but I don't give a crap. He switches on the outside receiver.
And just absolutely blankets him. Got pushed back there.
To be fair, he didn't really lose ground. He just got knocked back. This was a fun game. Oh, that was nice. What a rip throw from Lewerke. Letwerke. Oh, that wasn't even Letwerke, I don't think. That was the other guy. But what I like about this play, so obviously he's in coverage here. So you'd expect him to kind of take this guy, but he trusts the other linebacker, who I think is Josh Ross, and he takes LJ Scott out of this play. Really nice decision. Nice fake rush. Way to fall on your butt, Watson. Nice coverage, David. That's why he's a second-round player in the class. Talked earlier about his ability to slip blocks. Again, talking about Devin Bush. And you got to see that in this particular play. Watch here, he's going to slip around 70, avoid the block. Doesn't matter, but just nice to point out. Again, coverage on the running back. And I don't know if he was lined up with hand in dirt, but I mean, honestly, close enough to defensive line. Yeah, he was technically lined up in stand up here. But I mean, like, let's be real. I mean, is that not close enough to defensive tackle?
That's
Outside of his hand in the dirt?
Yeah.
And he's basically lined up as a zero, a stand-up zero. And he's right there holding ground too, against the center. Nice contain. Great coverage again. Josh Metellus. He's really flashing on this tape, actually. And I think he came back. I think he's coming back for a 5th year, so hopefully him and Dax lead that secondary for us. Slip that. Oh, got moved. You see that? Braden?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. Is that a catch? I don't remember that play. Nice coverage. David Long again. He's really flashing today. Nice, Quiddy. Or actually, that was Jay. Oh, you should have had that, job, or David. Come on, Watson. Okay, not bad play from Devin there. Oh, my. Great play from Devin. And the finish. So what's going to be really interesting about this play is his main integrity here is this inside run. So Latorki is able to come back inside. He's going to be the guy that's there. What he's able to do is he's somehow able to disengage from the block using his length, which is underrated asset of his. And then he's going to just come across, slope the blocks, and get the nice real change in pursuit angle. And again, it's a really minor shift, so it's not really that big in full speed. But if I turn this down a little bit, into half, and actually this is a really good frame of it, he just does a really nice job of redirecting his pursuit angle, and that's what allows him to make this nice hit right there. Now back here up just a few seconds so you guys can see it in regular motion. I mean half motion full play. Right here, you see him twist the foot and change the angle, and then right there he has a little bit of a minor shift before the hit. It's just the little angles and the differences in the nuances that kind of separate him from some of the other linebackers. Allows him to be more aggressive. Oh, nice little in and out move, pass rushing. Really? Was that highlighted properly? Or was that another play at him at outside corner? That's not 10, is it?
No, he's down there at the line.
Okay.
I can see him.
Yeah, okay. They mishighlighted. He is... Where at?
You posited the exact perfect spot, but there was 10.
I think he's the defensive end here, right? Oh, no, it's 19. Was he just not on the field for that snap? Yeah, that's 19. That's Quiddy It's
Yeah.
a defensive end.
From that angle, it looked like 10. I guess he just wasn't on the field. Something.
Fair enough. I might have been playing his helmet came off or something. Oh, that was nice. Love the change of direction here. Oh, too late. Right here, you see him rolling out to stop the running back, and boom. Changes, boom. And he's able to face forward with the angle. Awesome. First and goal. Nice gap integrity. Great tackle.
Good tackle.
And he was actually a great view. And you know, oh crap. At least it paused. Go back here. So you're going to see Tag right in the middle here. He's going to stay disciplined in this A gap through the handoff. Then he shifts to the B right here. And then he shifts to the C right here. And he's able to break on the outside stretch. Really nice play. And that's what I talked about earlier. I was referring to how he shifts through gaps. You guys really get to see a great example of that on this play. And you also get to see how he opens as well. So watch here, you see him strafe across. And then the open when he flows from B to C. And discipline because it's going to be a reverse. Yep. Unfortunately, he got blocked again. Shocking. But he didn't really move all that much, if you looked. I'll go back and play it again for those of you guys who are watching just Bush. So, yeah, watch Devin. He already sees this right here, what's happening. And 12, I think that's Ross. Cuts him across, and 23, who's, I want to say, another safety. And he actually hits him coming across. And Long isn't able to go back in time. Nice A-gap integrity there from Dev. Again, outside, beautiful screen defense on Devin's part. Again, able to take out the running back. Oh man, 12-4. Again, solid
Nice.
gap integrity. Really nice job of flowing out to the running back again. Very consistent in doing that. Zone. Nice job staying on the running back there as well. Another zone play over the middle of the field.
That was a bad throw.
I think that was thrown away.
Oh, never mind then.
That was a bad throw. That was also a bad throw. But Twerky was really off this game. Come up, come up, come up. There you go. Oh, he almost popped him. He was so close to getting absolutely popped. Watch the timing of this slide. He's coming down. Bam! Oh.
If he doesn't slide, Lewerke may still be asleep. It's like it. He may be next to Andrei Sveshnikov in the hospital.
For those of you guys who don't get that was a hockey joke.
Yeah, he got absolutely just knocked.
Out.
What a...
Michigan.
Oh, I thought he picked that off.
Still good coverage, though.
Yeah, no, it's still good coverage.
By the way, that's a defensive tackle. Unfortunately, they actually called him for that. But yeah, that's going to be the leader of Michigan's defensive line next year, replacing Rashawn. And just watch how he disengages. And that dude's like 310 pounds, and he's chasing a 200-pound quarterback.
That's a weak call. That's... Yeah, you...
I think they called that, too.
Yeah, that one was a good call.
And they called that, too, apparently.
Offside.
Oh.
It was for...
Oh, there you go. Boom. That was number 10. Of course, it looked like they got a flag on him, too. But yeah, again, I tell you guys this. I know why I saw this stuff. Every single game. Well, I didn't see this every single game, but I saw, like, every single game. And I for what it's worth, again, this is a running back, technically. But it still counts. He's doing a really nice job enforcing the boundary. I really like how smooth his hips are and how he opens. He does a really nice job with the press hand. He does a really nice job with the being physical with the outside hand. I mean the inside hand to move him outside. Probably could have done a little bit better with the ball tracking, I guess, in the air. Yeah, they did call him for that. Because he didn't turn his head. Mainly, that was a nice catch. Oh, yeah, you are dead.
Ooh!
Rip you. That wasn't Litworky, though, fortunately for them. That was their backup guy, because Litworky got hurt. Dead.
F.
Does he get sacked here, too? I think he does. Oh, no, he got it out too quick.
And there we go.
So, yeah, thoughts on that game?
I thought this was the best game of the three, personally.
Nice. Anything in particular stand out?
He seemed like the most consistent and, like, technique-wise, he was just the most consistent and, like, So I'm trying to figure out, he was the most solid technique-wise in this game, in my opinion. Not saying that the other three were bad, but this just was better. In my opinion.
Nice. So, based on what you saw actually, even just your own experiences of tape, but also including today, what are your biggest positives and negatives overall of them as a prospect?
Positives, I love his, IQ and, how he can quarterback an entire defense. He's very, very good in coverage, both zone and man. I love how he is able to play the run, how he plays the run too, shoots the gap, and also has very good gap integrity. My main concern is just he's a little bit undersized, not enough to scare him away.
Yeah, by a half inch and a pound or so, roughly.
Yeah, so it's a little bit, not nearly enough to scare me away. It's just that's my main concern.
Also, as you said, he got hurt a couple times this year, which, although they weren't serious injuries, is it's always a concern when they get hurt for 2 games.
The Ohio State one was bad, for what it's worth.
Yes.
That
Didn't he miss the
was,
bowl game for the 2?
I think technically he skipped the bowl game. I don't remember if he was cleared to play or not.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, like, he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks or something like that, and the bowl game was in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those like borderline things, and he's like, you know what, I'm not going to take the chance of re-aggravating this, knowing I'm a first-round player. But yeah, that was about a month. The Notre Dame game was mainly a cramp, and like I said, that happened to basically everyone. So I'm not really as concerned about that, especially considering it was a one-time issue. And then the Michigan State game, he missed a series. I forgot what that was. I think it was a shoulder from one of his hits.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It was like real. It was so minor. It was like a minor shoulder thing. He had to miss a series. And then at some point last year, I forget what it was. Like 2 years ago, 2017, he missed a series.
If you miss a series, that's not a big deal for me.
Against someone. I forgot what it was.
But when you leave halfway and still miss it, that's kind of when I'm starting to get concerned.
Yeah. I think part of that is size. To be honest with you. I think that might be where the size comes into play. And again, it's not really like a big deal at all. In fact, I didn't even really drop him down my board at all for it. I have number, I think, 5 or 6.
No, I'm not dropping him down my board. It's just it's nothing to where I can be. I'm not gonna drop him down my board, but at the same time, it's still still big enough to where you can't just ignore it.
I guess, but
not necessarily where you can't ignore it, but where someone who's really strict about that could put it against him. I guess.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, okay, so I guess my counter to that, I mean, again, this is coming from a huge fan of his, and kind of playing defender here, is I'm kind of getting annoyed at all these people who are like, oh yeah, Devin White is the ideal prototypical linebacker, when Devin White is half-inch taller and literally 1 pound heavier.
Yeah.
Like, just because he hit 6, I think Devin Bush was 5'11 and 5'8", if I remember right. And Devin White was exactly 6 foot, 235, and Devin Bush is 5'11 and 5'8", and 234. And Devin Bush is somehow, oh my god, he's off the board, he's undersized. And then Devin White's like, oh yeah, he's the prototypical linebacker. And it's like, okay, first off, Deion Jones is what, 5'10"?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's smoke. I think it's because someone wants him top 5 or top 10 and they're trying to drop him.
No. Yeah. But yeah, it's hard to find a lot of negatives with him.
Yeah, that's true too.
So I think when people are doing size, I feel like it's more of they have to list something in the negative, so they just kind of pull something. Because I remember with some reports I do when I wrote, I just made sometimes I'd pull like a negative out of my ass just to just to make it look better. Because you have to have something in the negative.
Sure. I guess for me, that's kind of where I am with this block shedding, I'll call it, even though it's not really shedding. Because, like, we've seen snaps where he completely bullies offensive linemen. I mean, there were a couple times where he got 3 or 4 yards deep in the pocket and collapsed pocket. And there were times where he was able to shed and everything like that, too, in addition to pocket collapse. So it's just like every single time I see, I mean, you could literally tell an offensive lineman to fall to the ground. I'm not even kidding. Like, literally just fall to the ground, and it seems like he's on his legs.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a minor thing, but that's kind of where, like, instead of the size, that's the kind of thing that I want to look at, because it's something that can be developed too, and it's something where it's like, dude, you just have to know where the people are on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
and the other thing too is I talked about this in the first video, is that actually cost him some plays. And there was one play, I think it was against Purdue this year. Unfortunately, they don't have Purdue tape up. I'm pretty sure it was Purdue. And it literally cost like an 80-yard touchdown.
Oof.
Because it was a 4-1 set, right? Like a 4-1-6 dime. So we had the 4 defensive linemen taking up the 4 gaps up front, like the double A, the 2 Bs, and then like 2 edges. So basically, he was like the filler, right? So he was the guy who was like, if a gap opens, like he's the guy who has to fill it. And what happened was, instead of it being a man blocking play, it was a zone blocking play. So instead of double teaming one of the defensive, like the double A guy, the center came up and cut Devin, which opened up all the holes. And because like Devin wasn't able to fill all the holes because he was on the ground, and the dude just literally ran right up the middle, straight down the field for an 80-yard touchdown on the first series. Brutal. And it's like those types of, and the same thing happened against Penn State in 2017. And of course, that tape isn't up either. But the same exact thing happened. It was like the first series of the game. Saquon Barkley got a nice block. I think it might have been even from Jasicki. And Jasicki was like coming around like on a pull, I think it was. Or maybe it was just a diagonal block, an eagle block. Chopped Devin's legs off, opened up a huge hole. Saquon had like a 76-yard touchdown run. And it's like, it's literally the exact same thing that's cost us 3 or 4 touchdowns. The same exact thing. And it's like incredibly annoying in the moment, especially as a Michigan fan. And it's at the point now where I think it's going to be like next year, right? Like, say he goes to the Lions, or, well, for your sake, we'll say Broncos. And you guys are playing the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
What do you think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be watching tape on? Devin Bush in Michigan, or earlier on in his Denver career, whichever one, pick your choice. And the one negative that they're going to keep on seeing on tape as they watch it, and especially the more games they watch, is that he's always on the ground when he gets cut. So what do you think those opposing offenses, especially the higher minds in the NFL, like the bigger, like an Andy Reid or Matt Nagy or whoever, are going to do? Okay, your one way to beat Devin Bush is to cut block him, so you're going to have to cut block him all the time. And then especially if he goes to a team that's, I mean, honestly, I don't really want to say this as a Lions fan, but like the Lions, who may run a lot of 3-2-6 or 4-1-6 next year, leaving him and Jared exposed, because there might be plays where Jared plays on the edge. Like, he gets cut, you're done. Your whole middle of the defense is exposed. And that's what cost Michigan so many times. And with Denver, I don't know who your other linebackers are. I consider Vine and Chubb edges. Who are your other linebackers?
Todd Davis, Josie Jewell.
Yeah, okay, so there's a pretty decent chance that you guys are in a 3-3-5 with Bradley and Vine as your edges. So it'll look like a 5-1-4, right? Yeah. So if you take Devin Bush, leave him in the middle of the field, whatever, and your defensive tackle, whoever your defensive tackle is, gets singled.
Yeah.
Offensive guard comes up, cuts Devin. Your whole middle of the defense is wide open. And you have no one else, unless the safety's in the box. Disaster. Automatic first down at least. So those are the types of things that like really, really bother me, because those are the things that are really going to expose him at the next level. So again, I keep on harping on this, and it seems like it's a really, really minor detail in comparison to some of the other things, because he's so good at everything else. But like, it's just kind of at that point where it's, oh. Okay, I've been rambling. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed.
Actually,
Yeah.
I did think of something real
Cool.
quick.
Mhm.
So during the owners' meeting, the breakfast that they had in Arizona, someone asked Vic Fangio, who's obviously the Broncos head coach and was the Bears defensive coordinator last year, what he thought of the linebackers compared to Roquan Smith, and he just said, like, straight up without hesitating, Roquan is better than both of them. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily say that they were bad. He just said straight up, Roquan's better.
Of course.
Which I agree with. I was just wanting to get your opinion on that.
Well, my opinion is, of course, he's going to say that.
Oh yeah, but do you agree with it?
I think it's fair. And again, there's things like I definitely think Roquan's better than Devin White.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have Devin White as a second at my grades. But like, I mean, part of it might be biased. I think Devin at least plays. Close, I think they're similar, and they have a lot of similarities. Like, okay, you know what? Let me just pull this up. And again, for those of you guys who have already closed on the video, thank you guys for watching and subscribing, following, liking the video, commenting, leave your thoughts below, all that stuff. But I'm just gonna pull this up, and we'll have a little bit of fun with this. Let's try NFL.com just for fun. Because I know that they have a Roquan one. I'm not sure if TDN has a Roquan one.
I mean, TDN was made after Roquan already entered the NFL, so I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So I'm going to stick with NFL, even though I like TDN better. There it is. And then we'll just compare some of their negatives. And we can see which ones we think are better or worse.
The grade for NFL.com is wonky as hell.
I think they use the official, like, the scout grade chart thing.
Okay.
Which is like on a scale of like 1 to 8.
Fair enough, okay. Bush, 5'11", 234.
Yeah, so he's a pound too light and like a half inch too small.
You know, if he needs half an inch, I can donate him one. I mean, I'm already short, so what will half an inch do to me?
I mean, like, okay, can we just put, like, I'm literally just joking here, but can we put, like, his hair, like, standing up instead of dreads?
I
Like,
know.
can we, like, get him, like, an afro or something so that he can get, like, the extra, like, 3/8 of an inch or something stupid? Like,
yes.
I mean, oh yeah, for those of you guys who didn't tune in the first video, there's his combine numbers. In terms of 40 vertical and broad, they were all the same as Devin White. I think he was a half inch further in the vertical, half inch shorter in the broad, and like 1/100th of a second faster in the 40.
So identical, practically.
Basically, but the differences were Devin Bush had a much better 3-cone, and Devin White had a much better shuttle. Or that might have been flipped. No, I'm pretty sure it was that way, because we like the guys with 3-cone. So yeah, Devin Bush had, I think it was a 10th faster 3-cone. It was like 693 to 714.
Oh, then that's
And
over
then
2/10.
the shuttle was like 423, and I think White's was like 406 or something. So yeah, there was a pretty big difference, but they were just flipped. So
Okay.
Bush ended up with a 934 RAS and White with a 983 or a 933. So he barely beat him.
Identical, practically.
Yes. Stephen Tulloch.
Huh?
That's kind of interesting. He was a former Lion.
Also, I like how they say undersized.
Well, of course they are. Speeding cover talent to make an easy transition to will. Of course there are. F you if you do. His ability to play fast and freezing outside linebacker should supersede those concerns. Of course they should. And funny enough, I don't know if his GM. Wow, I just blanked on John Elway. Has John Elway done his press conference yet?
Not that I can remember.
Okay, it might be tomorrow. Bob Quinn had his press conference
I don't
today.
remember. I can't remember if he does one before the draft.
Every team does one.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Bob Quinn had his pre-draft presser today, and he basically said like there's a lot of like really really good defensive players in this class that are small and undersized for their positions, but the thing that's going to be make or break for them is if they whether or not they can play nickel defenses. And yeah, he can play as an outside linebacker in nickel. Missing tackles and getting up by blockers at other times, but placing the ability to run and cover are extremely valuable. So interesting enough, they talk about how he's getting up by blockers, but they do actually give his placing as a positive.
You know, that's kind of a moment right there.
Yeah. Should not be diminished due to a tape measurement. Yeah, that's also very true. Okay, compared to Roquan, who I would laugh if it's Stephen Tulloch. I don't think it is. Oh, dang, he was a lot bigger than I thought. Okay, I remember him being 6'1".
He only did a 40-yard dash.
And it was about, what, a tenth slower?
Not even like 8. No, like 8.
Roughly a tenth slower.
Yeah, roughly a tenth.
And theirs is... Oh, wow, okay. That should be
Wait
flipped.
a second here.
That should be flipped.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait a second here, dog.
It doesn't really matter, but... athletic ability plus intelligence ability to be effective cover linebacker on passing downs. Okay. Well, he's a little undersized. He has the quickness and speed to keep himself from being mauled.
Undersized, dog. He's 6'1".
Yeah, exactly. And I love how they talk about plus intelligence, and we already talked about Devin Bush's intelligence and his ability to do that. Effective cover linebacker on passing downs. Effective speed and cover talent. Projects a player who hasn't tapped his full potential. Okay, so they're talking about high upside. Pro Bowl traits won't come off the board in the first round. Okay. Oh, I did not remember him playing wideout. Good for him. Elite athletic ability. Speed. Explosive. Slips blocks. I talked about that with Devin. Praised by his head coach as a tremendous leader. Instincts and football IQ. Focus and tends to find the ball when sifting through zone. We talked about that a little bit. Plays with discipline. We talked about that quite a bit. Running backs are prepping for screens and players down. We talked about that. How he's able to track the running backs. Face of tackler who sticks his nose in noise. We talked about that with Devin as well as being aggressive with the LOS. Or stop and start. I talked about his stop and start on, especially there was that one play in the Michigan State game. Change of direction, flips pursuit from one target to the next. I talked about that a few times, actually. Gets early bail in the coverage, able to mirror and match against running backs. We talked about how he's lined up against running backs in the outside receiver. Gets early jumps to join crossing routes and has speed to carry him across the field. We showed that with the tight end play. Again, not a wide receiver, but the one Penn State play where he threw the pick. That was absolutely terrible. We talked about how he's able to jump the crossing routes and carry. And he searches and squeezes out receivers playing zone. We didn't really get to see him against the receiver too often. Most of the time he was against the running back or tight end, but I'm sure he could cover receivers. Compact lower body with a filled out frame. Interesting. Trust his eyes really gets trapped through false steps. I actually really like that. I haven't talked about that a lot. Good patience to feel for run blocking, but I haven't really talked about that a lot either, actually. That's a good point. Body control and balance through contact. I did bring up the balance a couple times. Uncorks on climbers and ISO blocks with sharp leverage hand strikes. Did you see that?
Huh?
Did you see anything about that? The hand strikes? His hand placement?
No.
That's interesting. Yeah, some of these things I haven't even thought of before, to be honest with you. proactive with hands to balance against wash down blocks. So they're really talking about his hand usage, which is quite interesting. I didn't really finish thinking that. Strong leg strives through blockers. We talked about how he collapsed pocket a few times. Has GPS to move around traffic. Again, talked about that. Sideline speed, of course, talked about that several times. Has speed to carry third down backs and reflexing up the sideline. Again, talked about that with Roquan and him several times. 11 passes defended. That's actually really productive for a linebacker. Disguises launch swings and blitzer. I talked about that a couple times where he like goes around the edge. Slippery rush who connect through gaps and the broad edges. So again, actually not as many similarities as I was thinking. But honestly, I kind of like Devin better based on those strengths. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, based on the strengths, yeah.
Because, I mean, a lot of these are like good patience, which is harder to develop, or body control and balance, which is harder to develop, hand positioning and hand leverage and placement and all that stuff. That's fairly difficult for a linebacker to develop. Block shedding type deal there, all those types of things. Whereas with Roquan, it's like fast, instinctive, focused, disciplined. I mean, they're kind of similar in a lot of ways, so. And then negatives for Devin Bush. Below size standards. Average reaction time. Okay, I consider that patience. That's BS. Slow to processing is misdiagnosed. Okay, I guess that's kind of fair. There was the one play against Michigan State on the triple reverse where he got beat. The touchdown did look twerky. Remember that where like the quarterback came out flat? Big boy swallow second level. Okay, whatever. Needs to make it.
Whoever made this report needs to say pause after that.
Needs to mitigate size concerns with downhill shots. I thought he was okay with going downhill. Too many block challenges and Yairo block slips. I thought okay, I guess that's fair. He can slip blocks, he doesn't do it enough. Required pursuit leverage and feel for. Oh, I thought he was great angular wise. Runs himself out of tackle attempts by coming in too steep. Okay, maybe once or twice that happened. Out of position when he starts guessing rather than respond. That's true. Yeah, I didn't say a lot about that, but now that that's mentioned. And the missed out on tackles in space too likable. I thought he was fine, but okay. Weaknesses. A little undersized. Can be engulfed by size, so again, same exact thing as Devin Bush. Need to diagnose and trigger faster, exact same thing as Devin Bush. Comes in hot rather than breaking down in space, exact same thing as Devin Bush. Need more schooling on handwork when taking on blocks. Okay,
that
so
one's
that's
different.
yeah, that one's a positive for Bush and a negative for Roquan. Better job of recognizing oncoming blockers. I don't think that was. I think they gave no's for blockers a positive for Devin too. Gets touched up by second level chat, exact same thing as Devin Bush. So in terms of weaknesses, basically the exact same player. The biggest difference is he needs to be more aggressive in terms of responding and tackles. And then the block slips for Bush, and then the hand usage for Roquan. But otherwise, the negatives are the same.
Yeah.
Love to play him inside, he may have to slide to. Well, I think the same thing about Devin Bush. Would love to play him at middle linebacker because he's able to run defense and he has the speed and the size and the. Well, I don't want to say size. He has the speed, the efficiency, and the flow to be able to handle middle linebacker. But honestly, you're probably getting more out of him using him sideline to sideline than you are in the middle of the field. So, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, based on that, is there really that much of a difference?
No.
I mean, kind of making you answer your own question, but.
Yeah, that answers the question.
I don't really think there's really that big of a difference between the two of them. And of course, like I said, there's minor things that both had to work on, have to work on. But either way, you're getting a day one starter with a top 10 caliber talent in the class. So Like, I mean, at this point, it's just semantics.
Alright, I'll share you. I'll tell you this after we're done.
Oh, okay. So, any other final thoughts?
Nope.
Sweet. So, for those of you guys who stayed for that little comparison thing, thank you guys. Hopefully you learned something about that as well. But for those of you guys who tuned into this one, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this, learned a thing or two, especially from this one. Definitely want to keep on, I don't want to say pushing his name out there as much as I can, because he's actually kind of a top tier guy now for
I
finally.
mean, yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate debate on which Devin is better.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm just talking about, like, getting him out there and, like, kind of just teaching people about what I like about Devin. Because at this time last year, people thought I was silly for having him on day 3. And now he's a top 10 player in the class. Basically,
Yeah.
rather consensus. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you haven't checked out the first part of this already, again, hopefully you guys can go back and check out that. And maybe you guys can compare his 17 tape from that to his 2018 tape that you guys just saw in this one. So if you guys would like to do that, go check that video out as well. But for now, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your week. Only 6 more days until the draft for us, 5 more for Braden until 15 minutes from now. 7. Did I just say 5? Rip.
Yes.
7 more days for some of you guys. At this point, it'll be 6. Anyway, for now, thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys soon. Peace.